Hello everybody and warm welcome back in. So good to be back. Today we're going to be doing two legs in the Cessna Citation 525 by Torquesim. I did my full review the other day, and today we're going to take it out for a test flight from the south of England all the way up to Glasgow, and in the intermediary taking a break at Blackpool Airport, hopefully for the NDB or directly in for the ILS approach. So we're here on the ramp, Biggin Hill Airport, and we're going to go ahead and get started and do a quick walk around and just take some of the stuff off of the external of the aeroplane. So we're going in the Cafe Elite livery, which is one of my favourites actually. I didn't think I'd like this dark gold and black colouring, but actually it looks very nice, and it's a very sophisticated scheme. So we'll get rid of the cones, the pitos and the chocks, and of course the engine covers. I'm just going to make sure the aircraft is suitable to go. Let's open these up and get ready to put some baggage in there. Of course, there's that wheel doing that strange thing again. Guys, if you have the same issue with yours doing that, then please let me know. I have no idea why it does that. You'd think if you had, obviously with the chocks on, it's not too bad. It seems to be staying still, but when you remove them, it goes crazy. Anyway, if you do have it, let me know, and at least someone has something in common. But yeah, Torquesim, if you're watching this, what is this? What is this doing? Anyway, you got these small gauges in here. I don't think these are actually functioning. I've never seen these build up with pressure or an actual reading of anything. So it says it's for obviously gear and brake emergency pneumatic pressure. You'd think there'd be at least some pressure in there. So anyway, there's one engine block removed, and of course all the rest of it, and of course this one as well. Let's go ahead and remove the cockpit cover. I didn't have this on the review because I wanted to save it. Besides, it is getting into winter. We need to protect the aircraft. If it's not going to be hangared, it should be hangared. Even if it is, people still put the stuff on. That sign's on the inside of the aircraft, so we'll remove it when we move in. Anyway, going to the back, we may as well get GPU on. Look at this amazing plane, guys. This really is a slick aircraft. If you didn't need any reason to fill your hard drive with hard drive screenshots, now you do. It's going to be interesting to see, is this as popular as the Gulfstream 550? Just connect the battery on there, because I don't think it will be. I already know for a fact it won't be. Amazing. That scheme there, that sort of reflection looks great as well. Okay, so we open the door, as we expect, to get the chain out. People are already on board, very keen to go. Our windows weren't actually covered, so people could see it, and they could potentially break in. Anyway, we get the sunscreen removed, and then if we need to, we'll get the GPU on. I'm thinking we should get it on. That's what I was about to do then. We'll get the GPU on just because I expect it to be... Well, we're doing the checklist, so it might be a little bit longer than usual. All the way to the start, hold the start engine. And make sure you guys connect it with the 25 volts, so it will provide the battery with power. And if we turn the battery on now, it should be able to show us it. Anyway, controls are locked because we have the control lock on, but we're going to do a cockpit inspection. So control valve is normal. Oxygen masks are in, but we don't know if they function or not. There's no functionality on them, Torquesim. So maybe add some functionality. Anyway, circuit breakers, you can pop them out, but they're usually always in, provided you had no issues. So they're all good. Standby gyro to test, and then the light does work on that now. For some reason that wasn't coming on last night when I was doing my flight. Don't really need any of the battery lights on at the moment. Battery switch to battery. Check we're not moving the aircraft. Seems like it's giving us 24 volts. Yeah, but we got the GPU on, so that's normal. And of course, batteries more. Avionics switch, this is where we get the ATIS information. 8 is clearance. Let's go ahead and do that. In fact, let's bring up the flight plan as a PDF, guys. I like the PDF a bit more because it allows you to see what we're actually doing and see what I'm doing. And a lot of people don't understand. Won't be able to read the one that goes into the FMS anyway. So this is the one to use. Where are we today? We're at Kilo Bravo. We're going down to his Kilo Bravo, going around up to north, Blackpool. There we go. And there's no dedicated fueling menu, but there is a weight and balance. If you want to convert it to pounds, you can use their menu, or you can just simply use the iOS. So we'll do that with the iOS, and we'll refuel that way, and that way we can get an accurate kilograms. And we're going across, so 7 passengers today. That's insane. So average weight seems to be about 70 to 76. Might as well put 75 in there. So it's fully loaded with apparently 175 of cargo in. And we'll have to check the center of gravity on this. 175. So I'm assuming we'll go in the back and put 100 and maybe 150 in, and then 25 in the nose cone. Bear in mind, guys, the nose cone is pretty big, but I don't think it's that big. Or maybe we could just split it and go 75 in each. That seems a little bit better. And we'll check the center of gravity in a second. Fuel wise, we need, again, I really wish they'd given you a dedicated refuel menu, because yeah, for the price they should include a menu up here to refuel, and they should include a calculator to convert, or some kind of conversion thing to convert kilos to pounds, or at least the option on here, because just having it in pounds is really not practical at all for anybody. Even in the US, people need the kilograms once in a while. So fuel wise, minimum takeoff fuel is 860. We're actually already at 777. 424 for the trip. Block fuel of 987. Just about 1,000 kilograms there, about 500 in each. Really not much at all there in the fuel requirements. Go back to the departure. So we're not going on the Lid 2 departure today from Biggin Hill, but we're going to be going on something called the Detling departure, which is just direct to the Detling DME. So I'll show you on the map. The Detling DME is out here. I'm going to tune that into navigation. I think we do it to navigation 1 and then switches. So 117. As you can see, change it on there. Pretty awesome though. Pretty awesome. 117.3. Now that should pop up as a reference. So there we go, it's popping up. We'll use the navigation for the departure, but we are going to program the UNS. We do have to wait to the engines are started to do so, otherwise we'll delete the flight plan. For now though, we need to get ATC available. That's why we're on the radio stack here, and we need to choose Squawks 7000 for now. Unfortunately, I don't think there's anybody available on VATSIM at the moment, or not VATSIM, but on the network. If you haven't figured out what the network is by now, it's not VATSIM. Let's put it that way. So London is empty. They do have somebody in Brussels, but we're not, unless London's controlled by Brussels, of course, but we're not in Brussels today. So we'll do a departure ourselves. Anyway, back to the chat list, guys. We don't need to worry about that. We will tune in Unicom for the sake of giving people the call outs and things. Anyway, that's going to be turned off. Avionics stack. So back to the chat list. Avionics 8 is clearance. We can't get it off there, so again it'll have to be off the charts, guys, from the departure page. Takeoff data 1016 on the QNH. It's actually quite high today. Seems to have been in the 900s lately. 1016. Gonna do that on both sides. We are single pilot operation, but it feels very much like you could Save a lot of work here by having 2 people. Five out of 5. I'm pretty sure he just asked for a radio check. Well, we'll say 5 out of 5 and hope he hears me. Well done to the guy for calling out on Honeycomb and asking for one. Anyway, so the EGNH 1016. Let's do our rotary tests. Check our enunciations. Actually, a good idea to do the enunciation check first and work around it left or anti-clockwise. Although you should probably work around clockwise. A lot of the illuminations are not coming on the master caution or warning. Of course, there's the stall test. Various other tests here. I am wondering why these aren't illuminated though for the warnings. Gear. Fire. Strange. I think we should have. At least a master caution or a master warning there for the fire warning. Potentially that means it's not working. It is a new enunciation illuminating on there. Very, very odd. We'll just have to assume that's the plane, guys. Anyway, the radar is non-functional for the moment. Battery switch to battery switch to emergency, so let's do that. And then obviously to battery. Nothing really works here other than, well, I'm assuming the instruments. Generators, we've got the ground power on, so we turn them off. Fuel boost, normal. Fuel transfer is off. Parking brake is set. Let's turn our avionics off, actually, we should have done that. Windshield bleed air manual is off as well. Control lock, let's turn that off now. It's very easy not to follow the checklist, guys, and you would tend to be able to do it without it. It's just a few other checks here which you would need to do. Anyway, control lock is off. The gear handle's down, we've got 3 green lights, the anti-skid is in fact on too. Gyro is uncaged and no flag on this one. A little bit off center, it's not quite where it needs to be vertically. Or horizontally, I should say. You can test it, of course, by rotating that. Pulling it, of course, will cage it. Anyway, uncaged. Air conditioner is off. Gyro on the right is on slave mode, that's over here. Instrument warnings, air conditioner is off, so nothing coming on through the air system. Throttles cut off. Attenuator is automatic, and the engine sync is also turned off too. All of the switches are off or norm. External battery, external power connected, and the battery on the rear of the aircraft connected as well. And the battery switch should stay on. Because we are starting the engines. So before starting the checklist, pre-flight inspection, let's go back out, guys. Let's just close it. Yeah, so just close them. We'll leave the battery connected to the GPU and the GPU connected to the plane, etc. Whatever you want to say. So wheel chocks removed, cabin door. You can't actually close that because they got the GPU connected. But I think if we, I don't know, it just seems a little bit unrealistic. I suppose the ground crew might disconnect it, but in this case it would probably be the pilot. Let's just leave the door closed then, and we'll assume ground crew are removing it. Very, very loud GPU, I have to say. Anyway, ground power is on. Cabin door is closed. Seatbelts and harnesses secure. Fuel quantity is good. 500 kilograms in each tank. Flashing beacon light coming on. And air conditioner is off. So starting engines. Don't need full bright. Start button. Wait for the N1 rotation. Introduction of fuel. Listen to the sound of that engine, that is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Anyway, we checked for the rise in the ITC, that's the thing here, the internal turbine temperature. Fuel, oil and generator warnings are off for the right side. And then we repeat the steps again for the left engine. So, ignition is on. It says about 8%, but I'm more interested in the fan rotation than anything. There we go, and then we got the ITT rising. Oil pressure. Oil temperature is a little bit low with that warm up. Still in the green zone. There we go, and then the percentage settles down. So DC amps and voltages, let's check. We've got nothing on the generators because we're on the GPU. External power check clear. Let's go ahead and remove it now, guys. Well, I accidentally disconnected it without turning it off. That's fine. We played the ground crew then for a little bit of time. Anyway, gonna get it piling soon and taxi to the runway. So external power check clear and generators coming on. So we should see that rise in DC volts. Check each side. You can also check one at a time. So turn one off and turn one on. And we'll have more on the right than on the left. And vice versa on that side as well, and that's not actually on the chat list, but probably worth doing at some point. For taxi and air conditioning, let's turn that on. Put the aircon on, and we're going to use the temperature thing down here. So we can either have it in manual, but in this case we're going to go in the automatic and keep it in roughly the warm section. Not too hot though. Lights, taxi lights coming on. Avionics. Brilliant. The inverter switch. Passenger advisory switch.
Before we depart, please take a moment
pressurization to our cruise and altitude of
by inserting the metal tip into the buckle and tight by pulling on the loose end.
24,000. That's quite high for a Blackpool flight.
Don your oxygen mask. Pull the mask towards you. Place it over your nose and mouth and secure it with the elastic band. Breathe normally. Please locate the nearest emergency exit, keeping in mind
electric trim is free and correct.
Your attention.
Ailerons, elevators, and rudder control. Flaps are preset. We need to set them to take off. Thrust attenuators check. ATIS clearance, FMS, GPS and charts. So we're only going direct to to Detling today. So all we're going to do is set the departure runway, which will be probably runway 21. Yeah. Avionics are all good. We're going to squawk a random code here. So we might as well do 3317. Test and keep it on ground, and I really hope this weather radar got integrated soon, and maybe they fill this space here with something rather than having a blank space. Anyway, we are approximately 20 miles to Detling, and then we'll put the second DME, which I think is pole, guys. Yes, so direct pole. We could use the UNS for this, but since we're only going on the DMEs today, we could technically just skip it. I don't know what the whole DME is. We probably do need the UNS in case they give us a, in case ATC comes along and gives us an ILS approach for it. Anyway, avionics check and set. Brakes are released. Flight instruments will be checked, then crew briefing. Brilliant. Just wait for this to power up and we'll get going, everyone. Oh wow, look at that. It's not nighttime, guys, but you should probably have this on, I think. Makes it look a lot better. Look at that. You can see a lot clearly now. We'll probably be Juliet. I think it's Echo and Alpha, but let me just check the map. The taxi to the runway. Juliet and Alpha. Or Juliet, Foxtrot, Alpha, whatever you want to call it. We're taking the right hand side today to runway 21. Anyway, let's just confirm this before we go. Flight plan, we'll enter our location and destination. Go November Hotel. You can put the other waypoints in there, or potentially find them actually. I wonder if we could find them. Enter the runway. It's entirely optional at this point, because we don't have it like a SID departure today. Again, it's usually the LID departure, but today's a little bit different. So we'll leave it blank, and we'll just do the arrival when we get there. Cool. 24,000 feet, let's set it on the altitude.
Gather traffic easy, Fox Fly, if you're not sure, flight over 26, left gather traffic.
There's no real way here. You got a volume thing there you can change in a speaker. I don't know how loud I'm going to be on this speaker system if I talk. I've been told by one of the ATC controllers that was super loud, but on the recording it came out super quiet. So let's hope today it's not as loud. It seems to be peaking still quite loudly. Anyway, we're checking the turn coordinator, which is working fine. Let's try and figure this out. So I think I would tune. We'll just hold here a moment. Just look at Biggin Hill's taxiways as well. Amazing. Actually, concrete and tarmac. Really nice tarmac. So, yeah, this thing down here, it says headphone and speaker. I'm assuming that's what we hear. And then this is potentially what I sound like, so again, I'm not too sure about this. Case of trial and error in it, isn't it? Make sure it's all the right volume. It seems to have changed it a little bit, ever so slightly on the sound. If you guys are finding me too quiet or too loud, then let me know. I think any microphone issues have been resolved by now anyway. Alright, I'll give them a call. I'll reduce the volume for them, but wait and see if it's too loud. Biggin Hill traffic November 525 Kilo Mike, taxi on runway 21 via Juliet Alpha. Let's hope ATC comes online so he can give us a radio check. course to 215.
Throttle line located at Fox River, taxi by Juliet, Romeo, Kilo, PR6, again, traffic.
Is that the course to the Detling DME for after departure? Although we should probably have on take off the runway first and then we can change it. But you can see that we turn the yellow one and it will align with the Detling DME when it reaches it. There we go, so there it is. That's the direction we need to fly after takeoff. When we get to Detling, we'll do a left-hand turn up to Pole. Well, I'm not quite sure where that is on the map, can't see it. I know it's at Blackpool, but if anybody has the frequency for it, that'd be great. If we do airport, Echo Golf, November Hotel, check the distance here potentially. So sometimes it'll say on the approach chart, it'll say the pole DME. Ah, there it is. So pole, that's where we're coming from, which means we're probably going to come straight in for an ILS runway 28. So we are scheduled for runway 28 arrival. Let's tune that in, 112.1 onto the second one. 112.1. Brilliant. It's pretty much a VFR flight, guys. It's like IFR, but when we're flying to DMEs like this, I consider it VFR because we're not really going to be looking at the instruments. We just fly north and judge it on landmarks. That's how I do it anyway. You can follow many roads up to the north and still recognise where you are. And when you get to Manchester, it's extremely easy to see where you are because you've got a huge city to the north and then the big giant road there going to the south, like the M1 and things. Let's do a reverse check. Wrong button. Oops. Oh no, I think we did a big doo-doo, guys. Shut my engines off like a fool. Let's get our engine restarted and turn the bloody avionics off in case we fry ourselves. Does happen occasionally, you have a slip up like that. Good practice. I thought I had it programmed reverses, but of course the plane hasn't got reverses, so I've been so used to flying other jets with them that when you finally hop into one without them, it's mind-blowing. Let's set a course now. We're going to be landing runway 28, so probably be about, I think the course is 275. Anyway, avionics back on it pretty much where we left them. UNS is going on. That's why I recommend, if you are using this, everybody, don't program the UNS before you start the engines, because you have to turn the avionics off and back on again, which will reset the system. As you can see there, it's happy to start up again and boot up. Some aircraft do save it, like the Citation X. You could probably turn the avionics off and back on and it will still be there, but it's not the case on these smaller planes, because if need to be protected. They protect the avionics from the engine start. That's the reason why you turn it off. A lot of the aircraft now, though, can still, like the big airliners and things, there's no way to turn the avionics off unless you turn things like the batteries off. So it's all connected, and you usually start the engines with them on. So very advanced compared to these old things, but still, these old ones are still nice to fly with these old instruments in the classic setup. So guys, we're going down Alpha. We'll hold our Alpha 1 at runway 21, and does it save the flight plan? No. So enter the waypoints if we need to. Quick spoiler check. Spoilers are looking good. Spoilers are deployed there, so speed brake extended. Brake check is a positive test. We've passed that. We'll do some pre-flight checks, pre-takeoff checklist.
As we prepare for takeoff, please ensure that your seatbelt is securely fastened and that your seat is in the upright position. All electronic devices should be set to airplane mode or turned off. We'll be in the air shortly, so sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight.
A bit hard there on the brakes today. Let's go get our parking brake on and just turn these off while we wait. With squawk altitude, well, in fact, the landing lights on. Let's just go anti-cold. So we clear the takeoff. Ignitions and pitot heats is about 13 degrees, so we probably don't need anti-ice just yet. Window heat, window air. There's just window air in this thing, so there's no actual heating of it. There's no heating elements in it. DME hold, if we select that, it will show us where we're going. And of course, we're going to be using the nav 1 for navigation today. Let's go ahead and give them a call out. Biggin Hill traffic, November 525 Kilo Mike, departing runway 21 direct at that link. Look at this detail here. This is so accurate to Biggin Hill's this particular taxiway. Anyway, it's incredible that they've done it so well and explain. Just taxiing over it makes it so. You can, if you've ever been there, you can definitely feel it. Let's put it that way. Let's explain it in a way you understand. Anyway guys, we're going from downhill to uphill on this one. This plane is very light and not particularly powerful. I'm going to climb straight up to 24,000 feet as per flight plan. Let's just do our check this. 110 on the V2 and 107 on the VR. And 110 and then 96.7 on the percentage. I think our thrust is just about set. The airspeed is live. We have 60 knots. There's 80. V1 rotate. V2 positive brake here coming up. Alright, we skipped the takeoff checklist because I already know it. Climb, landing gear up, flaps are up, ignition back to normal. Climb power is set. Now turning direct at that thing. Let's just check the outside of the plane. Absolutely glorious. Anyway, climb power, engine synchronizer. I'm going to stick it on turbine today. Yaw damper is coming on. Really climbing fast actually for a light jet. think it's just the wind direction, guys. I flew in 50 knots last night, and this is nothing compared to it. It's also nice to fly in the day once again. Pressurization. So we are pressurizing, and landing lights are off. Oxygen control valve, altimeters will set standard pressure soon. I think the transition at here is about 5,000 or 6,000. Yeah, 6,000 feet. And we'll climb straight up to 24,000 direct to Detling. So let's select navigation on the MCP, or this little panel up here. Let's select vertical speed, and we'll do it that way. Just continue to climb using the autopilot. Brilliant. We should be following the navigation one, so change the course. We need to be heading roughly east towards the Detling DME. After Detling, we'll transfer the frequency to 112.10, which is the pole DME. And from the pole DME, we'll probably execute an ILS landing into runway 28. Welcome in, snake biters. Yeah, good timing, just in time for the takeoff, the good part of the flight. On our way today to Glasgow with an intermediary stop at Blackpool. These are some of my favourite airports, guys, in the UK. You know, Biggin Hill, brilliant to fly from in small jets. Blackpool, just because it has an amazing approach system. You can do either an NDB and ILS. Both of them use the NDB. You do the ILS runway 28, you probably have to use the NDB as a reference. And of course, the Glasgow Airport, which not many people fly into in GA planes, to be honest. Anyway, there's transition altitude, so we're going to set our standard pressure. London traffic, November 525 Kilo Mike, climbing flight level 240 direct to Detling. And when we get to about, so within 30 nautical miles, so when we get within about 2 nautical miles, 2 or 3 nautical miles, we'll take that left hand turn direct to pole, which has should give us a course on the charts. No direct course, but it does say direct arrival from VOR. Let's go ahead and program our approach as well. So you want to press menu on this and then arrival. We're on runway 28. ILS Delta. Well, we could do the NDB runway 10, but I suppose that'd be in the wrong direction. And then pole. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And if you haven't seen the review and you are interested in what I think of the aircraft overall, you might want to watch the review I've just linked and uploaded recently as the stream. I don't think this aircraft will be as popular, but it is what it is, isn't it? And the Gulfstream seems a lot more popular than this thing. Anyway, there's the ILS tuned in. We're going direct. We should go direct to pole soon, so let's slide direct to that. We won't choose the UNS today, guys. We're not using the UNS, which is down here. We're just using classic, like, standard instrument navigation, which is how people would have flown in this plane the majority of the time. The climb is what clued me in. Don't usually climb in on approach. Yeah. Yes, normally, unless you're doing a go-around. Just check out this plane though, everyone. I'm so impressed with the interior, and I can't remember what livery it is, but the interior will change from cream to a dark brown, and even this wood here will appear to change textures and things, and so will a carpet. Seatbelt signs are off. It's climbing like a real rocket though today. It's not been climbing this fast on my own, but I've been flying in worse weather, and it's about 33 knot tailwind. Anyway guys, we're within 3 nautical miles, so let's change to the pole DME. So 112.1, and we'll set our course as well. There we go, so that's the course we need to head for the pole DME. Almost that they're heading on it too. Probably already familiar with this if you fly on these instruments. But we need to pull. We need to go towards the arrow and towards the DME point. Let's climb a little bit faster. I think we can get about 2,000 feet a minute at this rate. And since we're a little bit higher up, we can put some more thrust in. The thing here is saying about 101%, but it's very hard to get it accurately in this aircraft. What a slick bullet this is. Absolutely slick as. They should never have called it a slowtation. Yeah, it's slow, and it's slower than the Citation X and most of the modern aircraft, to be honest, but it's absolutely brilliant. It really is. I mean, we're going 210, you can't really get higher than 270, but if you're going on a short journey like we are today, it's not going to take very long at all. Right, we need to get on course. We should be following our navigation. Let's hopefully turn to navigation 1. Seems to be not turning onto the course for the pole DME. In which case, guys, we'll use the heading mode. Ah, there we go, it's turning now. I suspect this is to do with the wind as well. So, because we've got a 33 knot wind there, it's pushing us slightly across. We'll let it settle, and if we haven't turned directly to it by 24,000, I'll take it to heading mode. Oh yeah, I think it's great for learning on. This is, I'd recommend, if you can afford it and you want to buy it and you want to see what I think about it. I did say you only recommended it on sale because of what it misses. It doesn't get an EFB with it, you don't get a tablet, you don't get a weather radar. There's a lack of a documentation, there's, you know, there are problems, and the price is high, so I think if they brought it down to that price I said, which was $55 to $65, that is actually really fair, because $84, guys, is extremely expensive considering it's missing some essential features. But overall, it's a really nice aircraft to fly, and there we just adjusted the headphone. It makes it quieter in the cockpit. Incredible views though, really beautiful, quite beautiful today. We're probably going to get in Glasgow when it goes dark, unfortunately. But then again, we all like a good night flight on this channel, don't we? It is, and I wish the developers, there were other reviewers from last year that said about the problems that I mentioned and how it shouldn't have been shipped with these missing features. And I agreed with them. I agree, because not only are those other reviewers more experienced than I am, but we all share something in common, and that's we want this aircraft to fly it. You know, we want to use it, so we all want to pay a reasonable price for something. If we were to get the 777, for example, by flight factor, that's arguably more complicated than this one, and it's got considerably more systems. It's also got weather radar, EFB, and just a lot more documentation with it. So Torquesim have really gone for a basic aircraft to model, and for such a basic aircraft to have modelled, which isn't coming with those other things which you would expect nowadays, then yeah, it is overpriced. But do I recommend it? Well, I like it. I say get it on sale if you can do. But it's an excellent plane for learning. I just wish people like Just Flight and Coronado would bring their aircraft down for X-Plane 12. There is a market for it. I'm one of them. I'm sure you guys would love to fly one of their jets in X-Plane as well. It seems like Just Flight have preferred Microsoft from the beginning, and their new Learjet, believe it or not, is only coming out on Microsoft Flight Simulator. So it's really going to be interesting. Are Coronado and Just Flight ever going to return to X-Plane 12? And if they're not going to, is X-Plane 12 going to make the platform easier to develop for than Microsoft? Because that's the major holdback at the moment, is just being too difficult to develop aircraft for, it seems anyway. Right, we're about 1,000 feet to go now. We could just let DME hold on there, and then maybe that will do it. Turn it on and off as well. So 154 nautical miles to go. We got a course of the runway 28, so it's 275 with ILS. ILS I think is 108.15, so we could tune that in now. So 108. 1.5 for Blackpool, and we'll probably be straight in from pole arrival, as you can see on the chart there. We'll descend down to 3,000 feet. Usually for the ILS runway 28, it would be the NDB, so you'd still go down to the NDB, as you can see there, 3,000 feet, and then you do a U-turn over the airport to runway 28. If we were coming in the BPL arrival, that is. And then down to 2,000 feet. Go around height is also 2,000 feet. Left and return to the NDB BPL, but today we're at pole, so if we do need to go around, we'll just turn direct and do a circuit rather than going all the way back there. Anyway, we'll go down 3,000, but we're not there yet. Let's reduce our thrust. Again, a lot of guesswork here. You just got to guess what you need to put on the thrust settings. I say between, it's up to you how fast you want to go, but between 70 and 80 is usually a good amount. Sometimes you'll want a little bit more. You know they've put a lot of care and detail into it when you got a flushing toilet on board. It is great to see though, everybody. If you are gonna come back to watch the Gulfstream 550, it's just been great to see the response to that aircraft. I did not expect to have a bigger viewer base and more views on the Gulfstream. I really didn't. So thank you so much for that, and thank you for joining me today. I do usually stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and that's the plan this week. But next week, because we're going into the Christmas holidays, things are going to be a little bit different. So I will probably stream regularly next week, and then the Christmas week from the 22nd will be most likely a stream on the Monday, and then there will be no other streams that week because Wednesday is Christmas Eve and Thursday is Christmas, and then of course Friday is the Boxing Day in the UK. So for those 3 days, 24th, 25th and 26th, there'll be no streams, but there will be one on the 22nd. So I'll see you then, and then normal streams will resume probably on Monday the 29th of December. And very Merry Christmas to everybody as well. I hope Father Frost, Santa, brings you everything you want this year. And we are in fact on track, everybody. It took a while, but for some reason we were flying indirectly there. Anyway, directly up to Pole now. We may be able to see it after we passed Midlands. Usually, I'm surprised they didn't give us director on, to be honest. On is the famous one to fly to. And there were a few more here, like the BPK, Brookman's Park, which would have been a good waypoint as well. I just saw your message. The only aircraft where you could get bird strike from the rear of the aircraft. Very funny. How are we doing on ATC? We've only got Unicom today, which is odd. London South Centre just came online. Well, we're out of the south now, we're into the north, guys. Yeah, he would have covered our departure, but we've unfortunately left his airspace. Hopefully London North comes online. We have got Manchester actually, so that's it's possible we're going to transition their airspace. Possibly, but again we may be able to avoid it if we go up to Huddersfield. If we head directly where the DME is now, it's possibly going to take us straight to... We could plot our course, but it looks like we may be able to go Sheffield and then round to Leeds. But so anyway, Manchester radar will be 118580. Let's tune it in. Oh, of course, anti-ice. I didn't even put the anti-ice on, everybody. Blimey. Minus 25 as well. We're probably freezing our engines at the moment. You can even see the ice build up there on the wing. I'm pretty sure that's ice build up, which is not good. Engines are looking pretty clear though. So we are pretty much going at maximum speed here, guys. 277 there on the ground speed. We'll just reduce it ever so slightly because we're over speeding a bit. But 270 is, like I say, about the maximum you can go. There was no stats for the aircraft, but I'm sure you can find it online. A quick Google search will show you. So if you put something like Citation Jet, so make sure it's the Citation Jet type. It's not the Citation 1, and it's not the Citation 2. The Citation 2 was the first one I ever flew as a jet, and that came with the reverses, of course, because it was quite a powerful aircraft. And there were various other differences aside from speed and engine capacity. The maximum speed is definitely about 400, say 400 knots for the 525 Citation Jet. I'm hoping so, snake biters, I really do. All I've noticed actually, even on X-Plane, I don't know if this is an X-Plane issue, but I've been in some really horrible conditions in clouds and things, deliberately trying to get ice to build up, and it just never does. There's never any ice build up except for on at all. And I was at 50,000 feet, there was no ice build up, and you know, the aircraft didn't stall or anything. I don't get it. Maybe X-Plane doesn't have as detailed ice systems as it think it does, or maybe they're not working correctly. Right, YouTube's reminded me to take a little bit of a break, so what I'm going to do is just get a drink, guys. I won't be going anywhere. The proper break will be when we arrive at Blackpool, and we take that familiar 5-minute refresher. Be right back. Alright everybody, I'm back. I'm just thinking about transitioning the Manchester airspace now, so we are I-5 today. The transition altitude is about 5,000 feet from Manchester, and that'll give us a local EGNH. Hopefully ATC can help us out, or maybe they won't. It just depends, obviously, if they want to take us on as a transition or not, so we'll just do that when we get a bit closer. We are approximately 95 kilometers, so excuse me, 95 nautical miles from the Pole DME, so we have plenty of time there. Ah, snakebite is some more insider information, thank you. Ice buildup won't happen once temp goes lower than -40. Well, the air is too dry. I don't imagine there would be many clouds. Might have also been below -40. Okay, okay. It's -27 now, so we're still good. We've got the anti-ice on at the moment. But that's good to know. That's good to keep in mind. We may as well plan our descent now then, if we're going to go down to 5,000 feet. The reason we'll need to be at 5,000 is obviously to transition Manchester and to get prepared to descend again to 3,000 for the pole DME. We may be at 5,000 by pole, but we need to descend either way when we get there. There's a good amount of people on the ATCs, on the Honeycomb. I just hope there's many on the, hope somebody on, say, Glasgow later. That would be nice, wouldn't it? Anyway, when we descend, we may as well go down to the transition level of 5,000 feet. Well, that would be the transition altitude. If you look at the map here, we can see Manchester's quite busy as well. We could have even used the MCT as a waypoint, but that wasn't coming up in the flight plan. So if you go down here, so we have transition altitude 5,000 as expected. Transition level 065, which means we have between the altitudes of 5,000 and 6,500. That's the area where you would transition the QNH and things. QNH there says 1011. Set it down to 5,000 and then we'll get prepared for QNH. Look at the chart here as well, so the altimeter will be on the arrivals. 1009 for Blackpool. ILS 108.515, which is what we got pre-programmed in. So it looks like, yeah, after we get to pole, guys, we'll probably just direct to the ILS localizer. Of course, there's probably going to be dark, dry conditions. The radar altimeter is staying at 200 feet. This is all the distance and things, the landing weights and VREFs. But we can also calculate it. Well, they will calculate it for us on the landing performance. So it's saying 108 there. For the VREF. The VREF is not the approach reference. I was surprised they didn't include that actually. So usually we get a VAP approach speed, which is VAC, which is the reference speed for approach, and then you get the VREF for the landing. So the VAP speed's probably, let's say 115 as the VAP speed, that's the approach speed, and then we'll reduce to 108 for landing. With full flaps. I wonder then how how things like the stealth bombers manage at high altitudes and things. Because the things I watched about, and it was a stealth bomber I watched, the documentary said that at that altitude they would freeze to death. So they had to keep the aircraft like extra hot. I'm assuming that they yeah, I'll have to find that documentary, but it was very interesting, and the pilots had to undergo like rigorous training because they'd be in the aircraft for like 5 hours or something. Longer, actually, probably a lot longer. I can't even remember how long it was. That long ago I saw it. So we'll descend. We are fluctuating on the altitude a little bit. How far are we? So 66. Yeah, we may as well get going down then. About 800 or 1200 feet a minute, somewhere between there will be fine. Or at least this way we can speed up at the same time. Set the pressurization. Yeah, I think that's what they meant. I just remember recalling something in my mind about the aircraft as well. Again, I can't remember what it was. I'll find it for you guys at some point and send it over. And just there's still a line, but there's nobody. There's nobody coming through on the Honeycomb at the moment at all, and I can't hear anybody on the approach either. I'll give it a few more minutes. I'm hoping somebody's going to come onto the AGC. Where's the pole? So there's the pole. That's where we're going now. We're actually heading directly to it, and then we take that left-hand turn. Cross stop over in Blackpool. Only been about 1 hour and 20 minutes so far, so we're well ahead of schedule. I expected about 3 hours for the entire flight. We'll probably do it in 2.5 at the most. And I think we're only just about transitioning their airspace anyway, so nothing too major. Looks like we might be over the, I can't remember what the name of this place is called. It's a very, very nice place though. A lot of hills and a lot of walking spaces in it. It might be called Kinder Scout. The gigantic mountain hill thing, and it's just a beautiful place to walk in the UK. Very well known. It's almost like Snowdonia. Anyway, let's slow down. We need to be below 250. I think for the approach it's going to be 210. There's a limitation on it, believe it or not. Yeah, so 210 for the approach procedures. And we're coming directly from pole, so we'll reduce our speed to 210 when we get a little bit closer. For now though, at 5,000 feet we'll probably maintain as fast as we can get it. We are tuned in, aren't we? 11815. Oh, that's on the second comm. Excuse me, everybody, that's my mistake. That's why we can't hear anything. It's also very, very easy to switch this from COM 1 to COM 2 by accident, so just be aware of that.
101 leave Mersey,
There we go.
090 degrees. Shuttle 2 limit and land heading 260 degrees with establishment flies at runway 23 right descend and decline. Left heading 260, what's the time check line to 23 right descend, on shuttle to Lima. Rudder, at least 2981 radio. Easy 298 from Manchester radar, good afternoon, climb now, file up 190. 157-190, easy 29881.
Manchester approach, November 525 Kilo Mike, 12,000 feet descending 5,000, about to transition your airspace, direct to pole.
525 Kilo Mike Manchester radar, roger.
Okay, brilliant. He may not give us instructions, we may as well tell him we're about to transition though, and we won't give him any surprises when we come into his airspace there. So pole directly ahead. The arrival's already programmed in, so we could directly to pole on that, so we could switch from navigation to FMS if we wanted to.
101, approximately 35 track miles until touchdown, descent to altitude 4,500 feet, EGNH 1012.
I said the QNH over here to 1012. I think it's slightly higher at Blackpool.
Shuttle to Lima altitude, contact the tower 118.630, good afternoon. Thanks for contact tower 18630, good afternoon, shuttle to Lima.
Yeah, 1009 are at Blackpool.
Square 39, right, nothing further, Unicom 122.8. Frequency change of route 39 miles, thank you for the service, Sian. Golf X-ray, Charlie, turn right, heading 200, sorry, left heading 200 degrees. Left heading 200, Golf, Charlie. And then T102, nothing 30, Unicom 122.8. Push Unicom 130.
We do our checklist. We did runway descents. We did pressurization to 5,000 feet. We've actually depressurized. No, we haven't depressurized for some reason. We have. For some reason, the pressurization has increased. Should be decreasing.
Sorry, we'll just pass out. Climb back up. Sorry, you can stop now. Altitude 6,500 feet, EGNH 1012.
Anti-ice is required. Throttle set. Altimeters. I set altimeters at 1002.
1012. Go Fisher channel. Go Victor Charlie, turn left, heading 100 degrees. Left heading 100. Go Fisher.
1012. My mistake. Landing data is confirmed. ILS Delta runway 28.
Sharp 101 descent altitude 3,500 feet. 3,500 feet, Sharp 110.
And we pass over all these hills and things, and we get past the walking spots and the scenic route into the city of Manchester, just off to our left. I mean, it does look incredible in this part of the country. It really does.
170 degrees.
Just looking down there now, you couldn't tell the difference between game and reality. To be honest, it's so well accurate, well laid down accurate to it. That's 5,000 feet. We'll level off and we'll continue on to pole. I think we just surpassed pole now, haven't we? Just about to go past it in 7 miles. If we use the cheat mode here, we use the X-plane map, we can see it there. We could actually turn directly to the airport. So 10815 in the ILS. And we'll set the course accordingly. And we'll keep it on navigation mode, hopefully.
Unicom 122.8. 128, thank you, bye.
275 is the course for the runway.
Shamrock 101, turn right heading 200 degrees, clear Dallas approach, runway 23 right. Right 200, clear Dallas 23 right, Shamrock 10.
And from pole to the ILS, approximately 37 nautical miles.
Approximately 30 track miles until touchdown, descent to altitude 4,500 feet, turn left, heading 090 degrees.
Rudder 13 miles until touchdown, descent 4,500 feet.
Let's go on the heading mode and then we'll follow heading mode to the runway. I'm just getting here in time for the sunset, I think. If it stays bright, I'll be so happy for it. Anyway, we're plus 8 degrees now. I think anti-ice comes off at 10 degrees, but we're going through clouds, so I'll leave it.
Camera 101, thank you. Continue your approach. Contact the tower 18.630. Good afternoon. Camera 118.30, next flight.
How are we doing on wind? It's not giving us any wind or anything or instructions, so I guess we're just good to continue through his airspace here. So it's 35 knots. We're going to be struggling here, and then surface winds are 16, 17 knots, so pretty strong. But normal for Blackpool this time of the year.
EG9H, Zulu Uniform, Manchester radar, good afternoon, climb now, flight level 190. Level 190, EG9H Uniform.
Turning down in the cockpit is so much better than keeping that blasting out in my ears. So much better. I would love for them to add a
X-ray Charlie, descent to altitude 3,500 feet.
A speaker system here, or intercom or something. I know they got the speaker down here, but maybe a microphone operated one would be good. I'm just keeping an eye on our ground speed. We have that 35 knot headwind there, so it is affecting us by, you know, maybe about 20 or 30 knots. It means when we come into land, our actual reference speed will probably be about 140, I'm guessing, maybe 150. Maybe 140 and then minus the 16, 17 knot headwind.
Manchester radar, 82 now, Yankee X-ray, passing through 1600 feet. 82, 9, the Yankee X-ray, Manchester radar, good afternoon, try now, flight level 190. Level 190 for EC29 Yankee. Cobra X-ray, Charlie turn right, heading 140 degrees.
Flight 140, Goldfish.
Using an A Zulu uniform, nothing per the Honeycomb 152.8 here. 152, EG9 uniform, right. Golf X-ray Charlie turn right, heading to 15, once established localize and runway 23 right, descend with the glide.
Rudder turn to 15 and once established, go with the glide, go picture channel.
Seat belts, seats, harnesses, shoulder harnesses, these big looking things here are indeed secured on our bodies. Radar altimeter is set to 200. Avionics and flight instruments are checked with tuning to the ILS. Passenger seats, again full upright. We should probably have those tables tucked in. So not meant to have these out on London and takeoff. Passenger advisory switch.
Good afternoon, EG270
So got sign on.
Information, Juliet. EG270 Manchester radar.
You can see it just up here.
Good afternoon, Squawk 3517, report your aircraft time. Squawk 3517, and we are...
Fuel transfer is off. Crew briefing complete.
EG270, thank you, back to Xylus approach and wait.
Turn the synchronizer off when we get closer. Anti-skid is on. Landing lights.
23 right, EG270 Alpha.
Landing lights are on. Annunciation panel is clear. Oxygen valve is to normal because we're below 10,000 feet. Pressurization, so 200 feet plus ground level. In that case, let's just get the altitude off this one for the airport. 34 feet. Might as well depressurize at this point.
0, level 70 by Mersey. We're making flight level 70 by Mersey, EG27 Alpha.
And we'll descend down to 3,000 feet.
Can I confirm you're intercepting the localizer ILS runway 23 right?
Sort of.
Okay, you visual with the runway?
Yeah, we have visual. I'm just trying to get back onto the jet line.
Golf, Sierra India X-ray, Charlie Roger, in that case, you cleared visual approach runway 23
We have his airspace. He didn't pass us off to
right.
Unicom, so
Roger, cleared visual.
we may as well just switch to Unicom and deal with that. So we're in the airport now. There's the runway, guys. Let's switch to nav mode, and hopefully we can lock on. I had programmed it in. It should be locking onto the ILS from this distance. For some reason it isn't. Maybe the approach mode. Navigation 1, 108.15. There we go. You have to switch back and forth there between nav 1 and nav 2 for it to lock on. Descending to get on that glide slope hopefully, and then the go around height will be 2,000 feet. We shouldn't be descending that quickly though, blimey. Oh god, I think we found a problem with the autopilot, guys. Holy. What on earth is the aircraft doing? Oh my goodness. I selected approach mode and it just started going crazy, descending at 5,000 feet a minute. Oh my god, what the hell is this? Come on, Torquesim, that's not acceptable. It didn't even lock onto the ILS frequency for goodness sake, and now it's pitching all over the place like crazy. Anyway, turbine sync coming off. Like, what is this? What is this, Torquesim? Seriously, what is this? This is not acceptable from an $84 aircraft. No chance. First, it doesn't lock onto the navigation ILS. You have to switch from nav 1 to nav 2, which is unrealistic. But then you click approach mode and it starts pitching down towards the ground. What are you guys selling here? Seriously. You've tuned it in, and for some reason it's pitching all over the place. It's absolutely out of control. Let's get the autopilot on again. Let's get the off. Sorry, let's get the yaw damper off. Thank you, Torquesim, for messing up my flight and my approach. Thank you very much. Alright guys, well that's a go around, isn't it? Yeah, I think we will have to hand fly it. That is really disappointing. You should be able to lock onto the ILS from there regardless of whether it's at the right altitude or not. So we'll continue now at 3,000 feet. That is so disappointing. So if I locked onto the navigation, it should head towards the localizer, but even if we're not at the right altitude, it shouldn't pitch down that steeply out of nowhere when you select approach mode. It should not do that. It shouldn't do that. That's very dangerous. The aircraft wouldn't even be able to do that. You know, it was perfectly on the glide slope. Anyway, we'll get over it and get round with 3,000 feet. Let's go down 2,000. We'll do that turn back there to retry the ILS. Or maybe even fly to the NDB at this point, which is the NDB because it's on the map. We'll do the NDB tuned in, and then we'll push it away from us. So we'll head in the opposite direction. Maximum speed is 210 for the approach. Yeah, you can see there where the well, we switched from the we followed the heading mode and then we switched to the nav mode, and it almost got leveled up. It almost leveled on with the runway there. Also, you'll notice that the rudder trim some reason went out of centre. Now that tends to happen. A little bit unrealistic. Anyway, we're going to go direct to centre fix. The ILS Delta runway 28. There's 2 centre fixes there. We want number 5. Even though we're not following the FMS, we could technically switch to it now, and it would, you know, head towards the runway for us. So we select down here on map full, and it should give you the ILS. It'll give you the thing as a pink line. Well, we're not interested in that today, unless we're going to Glasgow. Okay, some more speed because we're going to go into 30 knot headwinds. We do like another U-turn. 2,000 feet for the approach. If I switch to navigation mode now, we should be able to lock onto the ILS. As you can see though, still struggling to get established on the navigation for the ILS localizer. It's so strange. Before trying to check this, so I'm going to turn the anti-ice off. May as well, we're not going to freeze on the ground, are we? And 1009er. Love these low short sectors though. I really want to do some more of these. Autopilot, your double come off when we're a bit closer. Airspeed will be VREF, pressurization flaps. So let's set the pressurization there to 0 now, and depressurize the cabin before landing. Again, pushing that approach mode and nav mode, and nothing is happening at all. I actually had no issues doing this last night or the other day from the pole DME. We're about to intercept it horizontally, so hopefully it's going to switch into the right place. It should be descending by now as well, but again, nothing. I have no idea why this is not doing it, guys. It really did work flawlessly the other day. I can't even speak. Oh man, it's a little bit embarrassing when obviously you've done it on a practice stream and practiced and it's been flawless, and then you come on a stream and it doesn't work. It makes the product look very, very poor. Extremely poor. We're at the right altitude, we had altitude selected, navigation and approach, and it still wouldn't lock onto the ILS localizer with the frequency programmed in and with navigation 1 selected. Really disappointing. Flaps on landing gear down, ignition continuous. Blackpool traffic, November 525, Kilo Mike, final, runway 28. I don't know whether we can be bothered to call an ILS now because we're not, it's not functioning. So disappointing though. And there are other things about the aircraft which don't work as expected. I mean, someone said about the GNS not giving you the waypoint names. It should give you one for pole, and I'm pretty sure on this kind of system it should still say the name of the waypoint as well. Let's get this thing on the ground and maybe give it some maintenance. Course was selected down here and here. There was absolutely no reason why it shouldn't lock on at all, no reason. So what's our landing speed? VREF is 106. We're about that speed now, guys. Nice and steady. Touchdown zone is nice and worn out for us. Safe touchdown, spoilers and full flaps. Full flaps tends to prevent you from braking very well, so if you put full flaps you'll have less control of the brake. We'll taxi the other way down, we'll just go to the end of the runway and taxi straight off there. Anyway, flaps are coming up. Ignition back to normal. We won't do a full deck shutdown on this one because we need to continue on to Glasgow, but we will shut the engines down and leave it in a cold, dark, well, semi-cold and dark state for the next leg. So, flaps up, ignition is normal, pitot static heat is coming off, transponder to, I'm going to put it on ground mode since we're taxiing to terminal. Transponder, anti-de-ice, radar off or standby. Brilliant. And not too bad of a landing. the approach got really messed up there, didn't it? After such a good flight. And then the systems just failed to work, like, at all. There was no navigational guidance, there was no vertical or horizontal guidance. There was nothing. And we got it all set up correctly, unless I'm doing something wrong, which I'm pretty sure I'm not. I think we just found potentially another issue for Torquesim. Takes the lights on. Blackpool traffic, November 55, Kilo Mike, clear runway 28, taxi into parking. And we're taxiing to parking via Alpha. Yeah, so that wasn't even a clean 360, to be fair. And when we depart, we will most likely be going down Bravo and Charlie and Echo for runway 28. Where can we park here? This space here is suitable for our aircraft, but I can already see a jet in it. We'll park potentially next to him and get parked up there for some nice little rest break or something. Anyway, guys, we're going to take a 5-minute breather, so stick around or don't, and then we'll continue our next sector or leg up to Glasgow. And of course, strobe lights coming off. Should have turned them off after landing. Go next to the Cirrus Vision Jet, and Blackpool Airport has a few Cirrus Vision Jets at it. I've been to Blackpool and I was surprised to see them there, so obviously they like to keep them here. I don't think we could test park anywhere. We have a little bit of discretion since there's nobody in the area. That should be clear. Parking brake coming on. Aircon on. Off. Aircon. We'll squawk 7000 and we'll put that into standby mode and turn the avionics off. AC inverters off. Now, I think if we leave it in standby mode, we can turn the standby gyro off, but we'll leave it on and we'll leave the nav lights on just to tell people we're working. We didn't actually use them because it's daytime. Anyway, engine shut down. Engines are shut down. Let's get our generators off because we're going to be turning the GPU on for our stopover. I mean, we've pretty much done a full shutdown, guys. pretty much shut everything down without wanting to. So we may as well just close the battery and then go outside and connect the blooming GPU unit. Give us time to have a drink. Welcome aboard, folks. Don't know what's going on in Blackpool, but I hope you have a fantastic time. We'll chop the aircraft on the nose wheel. It does actually move a little bit when you put the chocks on. I don't get that at all. Unload and load the baggage, and we've got the GPU, guys. I won't turn it on yet, so you don't have to get deafened by it. We're going to take a short stop over. Please consider joining for the next one or don't, and consider potentially commenting on the stream after. I appreciate everyone taking part in the chat, but sometimes if you leave a comment it's a little bit more long lasting because sometimes the chats don't stay there for live streams. Don't know why, but we'll be able to see them permanently on comments. We'll be back in 5 minutes and we'll continue on to Glasgow. Okay, everybody, welcome back into the second part of the stream. We're going to continue in the Citation Jet 525. I'm Grantham CPT. Welcome in, and welcome back if you're already here. Quick question in the chat, quiz question for you guys. What does ATIS stand for? If you do know the answer, you can either type it in chat or leave it in the comments. And I will potentially in the future maybe do a giveaway. Who knows? Maybe do an Explain 12 giveaway where give away a copy of the game in exchange for a correct quiz answer. But I'm not a big channel at the moment, so it's hardly worth doing it just yet. Although we probably will get to that point in the future. So we continue on to Glasgow. Let's go ahead and get our GPU. We're pretty much ready to get going. As I say, we just did a but a very quick standby mode there. The jet does look absolutely fantastic. I love this little thing here. I don't know how you call that, maybe a decal. But the decal here is very, very nice. And the stickers and things that you find throughout are well done as well. All high quality fonts. Even the jet fuel there, completely clear. Easy to see. You can even read the numbers there. 238 US gallons. The one thing I would like them to do is add the ability to refuel manually, because that's what the pilots would do most of the time, or they just taxi up to the fueling depot, which is literally behind us, and someone would come along with a big pipe and refuel it, a bit like a car. A little bit different than how they do it on the 737s, but yeah, anyway, so we start this again. Oh, have we run out of fuel potentially in the GPU? That's a consideration I didn't consider before. Maybe because this is on, we need to turn that off. Yes, that's right, I didn't do a shutdown, so it also has a continuous state on the GPU. That's interesting. We were expecting 7 people on that last flight, and that's how many we took, but on the new one we're going to be expecting hopefully not as many, because it was quite a heavy plane then, as you can tell. Output FMS, we should have Echo Golf November Hotel to Echo Golf Papa Foxtrot. Papa Foxtrot is Glasgow Airport. There it is. So I actually have 2 copies here. It's a little bit hard to imagine why, unless I only flew the route. Let's see the date on this thing. So the 1st of December on that one. There we go, the 10th of December. So make sure you check the date, guys, if you got 2 identical flight plans. Fuel wise, let's get our battery on first. We won't be doing the chat list because I already know how to do this stuff anyway. So fuel we've used quite a lot. We're going to use the iOS as a guide. We started with something like 1,000 and now we're already down to 500. And we need 1,000 before we can even get going, so 1,076. It's ever so slightly, a little bit more. With a trip fuel of 366, so not much at all. Weight and balance, 7 packs again, and a total payload of 731. That's insane. And 175 kg on the cargo. They do not travel lightly at all. So we stick 100 in the front and 75 in the rear. We're still 30 kg off there from what they've estimated on SimBrief, but that's just people's weights fluctuate, don't they, from what we standardise them to. What's ATC in Manchester is unlikely they're going to give us clearance. If Manchester North comes online, excuse me, London North, or even Glasgow, they'll be the ones to give us the clearance. Flight plan, are we going to be able to follow the navigation again? So, in this case, probably, because we're going directly to Ribble, which is the arrival. And then directly to Echo Golf Papa Foxtrot, runway 23, which is a familiar runway for me, and it's still light outside, guys, so maybe we can get going now, before it gets dark. Awesome, let's just close this. We'll get the ground service people to close the GPU for us when we need to. Look that, make sure it's pressurized and sealed correctly. Cruising altitude today, again, 23,000, so a surprising amount, 23,000 feet, EGNH 1011. Okay, battery power is on, avionics. 1011 on that. If you are unsure, you can always check X-Plane's EGNH setting. It will probably be the same, so 1011. SimBrief tends to give you very, very accurate numbers. Regardless, we're going to squawk a random code again, so we'll do the 33. Let's just go 3300. Generators are off. Beacon lights coming on, the avionics are coming back off. See what sign is on. Let's just do that again on the standby gyro. Air conditioning is off. I think we're ready to start the engines again. Alright. Number 2 engine. Fan movement, introduce fuel. Of course, we forgot the taxi lights. Okay, that's good. Left engine now, so we wait for those lights to extinguish. They have extinguished. Hydraulic pressure flickering a little bit. Fan speed moves. GPU is disconnected. Let's go ahead and stick our avionics on and our generators. AC inverter, I always put it to the first one. You can put it to the second one if you want to. Nav lights are on. We'll leave the nav lights on for this particular flight because it may go dark. Scotland is usually quite dark place. I'm just hoping the weather isn't severe up there, but the charts are saying, let's see what the charts are saying for arrivals. 212 at 15, so not too severe there on the weather. Only 3,000 feet cruise. I am going to use the UNS for this one because we got the arrival to program in, so we can't do that without it. Anyway, air conditioning is coming on. We'll leave it on the automatic temperature selection. Get our transponder to ground mode, and we'll switch this to FMS. So it should follow the flight plan. Accept the data. Flight plan, Echo Golf, Papa Foxtrot. And all we need on this one is the arrival. Runway 23. The arrival is here, so we need the 1 Golf. Rebel 1 Golf. I think I flew that last time actually, the Rebel 1 Golf. Pleasant arrival there into Glasgow. It's usually going to be, it's pretty straightforward. You just fly, I think, Rebel, because it extends so far south, you basically just fly north and then do a left-hand turn on the final. But I could be mistaken, we'll wait and see. And it will most likely be the ILS. We'll pre-plan for the ILS now, that's what I'm expecting. And then yes, the GLW, so let's just check the charts. And you'll see what I mean by extending all the way south, even though we're in the north. Show you the airport now. So get a few of the frequencies here. We can get the DME and things. 110.1 with ILS. We should have the GLW somewhere here as well. There it is. The GLW 331 is actually an NDB. We're tuning that in. We will keep that as a reference for navigation, and then the Glasgow thing there, also 110.10, so all the same frequencies at this airport, which is a lot easier to remember. On to the approach, so we're on the ILS runway, as you see the VOR, DME or the NDB, runway 23. Coming down at 3,000 feet, we'll follow the NDB and then turn onto 2,900 feet. Pretty steep approach at Glasgow, as you can see, so this was probably why I remember it so well. It is a steep approach, and even says, it does give you the percentage somewhere, but yeah, that's obviously not typical 3 degrees, is it? Yeah, so we've got the NDB, we've got the ILS, there's the Glasgow GOW. Well, we want the GRW. If we show you the approach, guys, you'll see arrival, you'll see the distance. See, so we're pretty much already at it. Ribble starts there, and then it continually extends up. So that's how far south Glasgow's arrival gets to, which always amazes me. That's quite a distance, isn't it, for an arrival? So we'll take 28, we'll do a left-hand turn because it's easier to get onto it, and then we'll go to Ribble and continue up to north, and those flight waypoints will be in the FMC, so we'll go down here. GLW, accept that flight plan. In this case we're going to go direct to Ribble. And then we got the other waypoints, so Niska, Aslib, and then Vapi. There are a few more in there that aren't on the chart, but that's fine. And then Lanark. Delete those empty spaces to the GLW, NDB of course, and then it'd be that right hand turn, and then a circle back to runway 23. So it's good to talk through this before we depart, so you understand what we actually need to do, guys. I mean, if you're a real pilot, you could try and fly it in the air and it would be a lot more work, but doing it on the ground will save you a lot of time, as you already know. And of course you can use the fuel thing here to enter your weights if you so choose to, and it should, again, perfectly optional. We'll get going there, we'll be pretty much ready. So taxi lights, everything else is good. Flap should be on takeoff and approach. It does, and Glasgow, when we come into land runway 23, you're going to be able to see those like high hills and things when we come in. The actual approach takes you right over the top of them. Actually, what is the altitude? It was 3,000 feet. It's not too bad, to be fair, 3,000 feet. Yeah, you would expect potentially higher, but 3,000 down to 2,900, and then there's that steep one. So as you can see there, the terrain is, it's going to be pretty close to us, maybe 1,000 feet difference. Alright guys, I don't think we can get any other charts up while we've got the Glasgow ones open. I think it's going to be a Charlie, yeah, Bravo Charlie Echo runway 28. Just give the Unicom a courtesy call. Blackpool traffic, November 525 Kilo Mike, taxi into runway 28 via Bravo, Charlie and Echo. Technically we're taxiing to Echo 1 holding point. But it's the same place, I guess. Similar place. Similar place. Today's stream's gone so badly. Started off well, just like I've lost my flow a little bit. Anyway, parking brakes are released, taxi thruster is set. It is a slick, sick aircraft. I know it's got a reputation of being a slow citation, but as I say, it's still a really, really good speed for these short flights. If you're cruising at an altitude that's not too high up, say 15,000 feet, it'll be done in no time.
As we prepare for takeoff, please ensure that your seatbelt is securely fastened and that your seat is in the upright position. All electronic devices should be set to airplane mode or turned off. We'll be in the air shortly, so sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight.
Indeed, enjoy the flight, everybody. Grafton CPT Corporate Charter. The handling characteristics definitely feel the weight difference though. Fully loaded, it'll handle a lot better than will when it's empty. When you've got maybe one or two people, one pilot and one passenger, or maybe just two pilots, the aircraft will be considerably more like unstable, especially on the yaw and things. You'll find you'll have to put a lot of correction in. That's what I found anyway. It's not like Citation 2. Citation 2 it was a similar size and a similar shape and things, but it had a lot more power, and even at lighter weights it seemed a lot easier to control because it was bigger. Runway ahead, let's do our takeoff checklist now. We're going to backtrack runway 28 and we'll use the full length to get our lights on as well. It's going into dark, isn't it? use that, and we won't be blind, will we? Landing lights are transponded to altitude. Our strobes on. We'll turn the pitot heat and the ignition to continuous. We're on the runway 28 heading. The course runway for the heading is 275, and then we'll turn around and go to the Ribble 1 Golf arrival, which is on a course of 061. Blackpool traffic, November 525, Kilo Mike, backtracking runway 28 for departure. Ailerons and elevators are good. The rudder is functional. Let's hope when we get to Glasgow that the ILS is actually going to work this time. Again, it was surprising it didn't work on the Blackpool one. It's worked every single time I've tried it on my practice flights, every single time flawlessly. So to have it not work there at the end kind of blew my mind a little bit. On Friday, I may fly this again. We may hop back into the Citation X. Still on the fence a little bit about what we should stream. After my review on Monday, I think if it doesn't gain any traction, or if this one doesn't gain any traction, then it kind of tells me people are not actually that interested in it. Which is why it's important to comment, guys, because then it tells people that you've enjoyed it. Pre-select the navigation on our ILS thing there, excuse me, on my autopilot panel, and we'll use the GA button as a reference for pitch. Again, we'll do the left hand turn on takeoff. Takeoff speed today has not been calculated actually, that's very odd. Again, potentially just another bug. Maybe because we landed and it can't calculate it again. It's come up with the correct temperature, the correct weight. Yeah, we are outside of a centre of gravity actually, so we're overloaded. This is going to be very interesting, guys. We're actually, I didn't check that before, but that might be why there was no takeoff speeds. Still the same VR though, 107 with the centre of gravity, and then 96 on the RPM, and then 110 VT. But the centre of gravity there, well out of the envelope, probably pushed into the danger zone. I suspect because we're fully loaded. 7 people plus I put 166 pounds of cargo in the nose. I should have stuck it all in the back, shouldn't I? Stuck all the bags in the back. Okay, so that means we're going to be nose heavy. Is it within acceptable ranges? Well, not really. Do I want to continue with it like that? Not really, guys. so we're going to change the weight around a little bit. I'll do it on here because we're in the UK. It's kg, isn't it? So we needed 175 of baggage. I've stuck 100 in the front. Excuse me, 75 in the front. We may be better off just getting rid of that and just sticking it all in the in the back there. So as you can see, we're still outside the centre, so in that case we still have to do some working out here. So 140 plus 35 in the nose. And that's better, that's in the range now, so they just had to evenly distribute the weight to give us that. Anyway, landing lights, strobes, continuous ignition, and pitos are on. Blackpool traffic, November 525, Kilo Mike, departing runway 28 to the north. Let's get going guys, 96 point something on the percentage. Knots. V1 rotate. V2 positive rate climb, yeah, coming up. Your damper on. Ignition to normal. Landing lights off. Flaps up. Smooth departure there, and continuing on north to the Rebel on Golf. Autopilot on, we'll follow the navigation and we'll follow the vertical speed as it is now, about maybe 1800 feet a minute. Blackpool traffic, November 525, Kilo Mike, landing flight level 230 on departure. There's no departure, so we're just going to give our announcement of the altitude change. 1800 feet, a minute. We can increase our thrust now and probably switch our engine sync back on as well. As you can see there, the engine sync literally synchronising the turbine, which saves a lot of hassle with trying to get the throttles level. Transition altitude will be 5,000 feet, I suspect. Oh, 3,000 feet at Blackpool, so a little bit less. EGNH standard pressure to be on the same level as all other aircraft at the same time. As you can see, we're climbing a lot quicker than we did at Biggin Hill. Probably because of that tailwind, so we can crank it up again to maybe 2,000 feet a minute. Keep our thrust setting where it is. Well, in that case, snakebiters, we really were out of the centre of gravity, though. We were, like, when I say nose heavy, it was like way over here, which is really, really too much. You don't want it anywhere near that level, to be honest. If it was here, if it was slightly there, just slightly up where it is now, it would be alright, but out here is out of the actual acceptable envelope anyway. Yeah. Anyway, climbing now, flight level 230. We should have intercepted our heading for the FMS. As you can see down here, there's the Ribble. And that circle there is actually another aircraft guy, so he's 36,100 feet. we're going to come to the Ribble and continue on to Niska. We may as well just go direct to Niska. There we go. The course of the actual runway for London is runway 23. There's a course of 228. I'll mention that now because we need to set this thing. I set this thing down here so we can see the ILS a little bit better. About there for 228. Ah, we have got Scottish Control online. Let's hope they're in our area. Yes, they are. They're going to cover Glasgow, guys, so we should be entering their airspace momentarily, and they will cover the Glasgow Airport and pretty much the entirety of the West Dean Cross place. 113875. Oh, brilliant, fantastic. 875. I want to do so many more flights in Scotland. It really is a fantastic place to fly into with all the high mountains and things. We say goodbye to the north-west of England and hello to some tasty haggis, hopefully. Oh, imagine if we get Glasgow ATC online as well. Let's keep an eye on the. We would have charts, and I'd like to see some more detail in the cockpit from Torquesim. So. You know, some charts tucked in down here, perhaps, or a checklist that we could pull out. Some charts down here, because there's nothing in these things at the moment. There's a book there, but that's not going to be any use. But yeah, the ability to interact with a chart or a checklist down here would be brilliant. So we use the X-plane map for the airspace reference. It won't show it. Won't show you because it's just covering the area in general.
Good afternoon, Center. Health Air 33 checking in.
Scottish Good evening. Easy 37 Echo Golf, climbing flight level 340 to Phoenix.
Hope you've all got your popcorn for this, guys. Beautiful sunset approach into Glasgow. Look at that. Scottish Controls on standby. No readbacks just at the moment. It must be pretty busy. I'm going to turn this aircraft down a little bit, guys. Airplane's a little bit loud.
4,000 feet, QH 1002. EGT 7 Echo Golf, climb level 340.
Climb level 340, EGT 7 Echo Golf.
EG 76, report established 25. Cessna Control, Delta 33 is standing by. Yeah, we're sorry, Control, that got stepped on. Flight level 33. 320 for cruise.
Control EV 7876. 10 small final ILS 253 into Belfast.
Delta 3, you'll try again with that step over, climb down for level 320. 320 now, I appreciate the help, Delta 33. EG876, winds 250 degrees, condition 240 degrees, 16 knots, runway 25, clear left.
This is runway 25, EG876.
Pressway's busy. Glasgow's empty. It's always empty, Glasgow, for some reason. Edinburgh is super popular though. That's 23,000 feet. Someone's transmitting constantly and it's just blocking the airways.
Scottish World Express 687, hello, busy. Express 687 Scottish, hello, turn right heading 040 degrees, squawk 147, condition 1453. 40 degrees, 1453 for the Express 687. Scottish 7 Tango, Scottish 7 Zulu, that's back to 2 weeks. Quotation claims to Lucky Control, okay. 070 clear Control, Noble 1 Hotel departure, your squawk 3510. Clear to Control, Noble 1 Hotel departure, squawk 3510, ships from Zulu. Okay, today, Royal Express 687, descent altitude 5,000 feet, QH 1002. 5,000 feet, 1002 for Royal Express 687. So you got 7 Tango Scottish? Yes, 7 Tango is with you. The 7 Tango, descent flight level 100, to the LS 23. Stop descent at 100, expecting 238 last one, people Tango. You got 134, turn left 275, descent to altitude 3,000 feet.
Excellent views this evening, isn't it? You can see all the, all of it. Look at that. All the locks down there as well.
180 knots at 4,000 feet, Royal Express 687 heavy.
Scottish Control, November 525, Kilo Mike with you 230.
November 525, Kilo Mike, Scottish, low, Rebel 1 Golf arrival, when ready, descent, flight level 180.
Rebel 1 Golf arrival, descend 180, November Kilo Mike. Hi guys, the 180. He did actually just message me. It just as I was about to call, which was great timing. Let's get going then. We're not going that fast to the cruise anyway. The suspect, because we got 60 knot winds straight at us.
Scotch, good evening. It's 24, passing 1,700, climbing 6,000. Unit 24, Scotch, you're quite low for level 250. Squadron 257, that's 24. Well, experience 67, turn left heading 335. Left 335, or left at 6876. 0134, left turn 265, clear ILS 24.
Oh, hello, Flying Frank fan. Others have now found the dual 530 problem. Reported to Laminar. Torquesim put a 430 in. There's a second GPS, it may work, but it will be a while before this is fixed. Ah man, that's unfortunate. I don't know if you're still here, if you were here before, but I had issues locking onto the ILS at Blackpool. Would not lock on at all with the navigation mode. Did it the other day, absolutely no problem, but today just didn't want to lock on, it was flying all over the place. Started descending like 5,000 feet a minute out of nowhere when we selected the approach mode. It was absolutely insane.
November 525 kilometres, speed 280 knots, circling turn if you can.
November 525 kilometers, say again.
Speed 280 knots, circling turn.
280 knots a greater, would comply, but I don't think that's going to be possible. The aircraft isn't capable of it.
Okay, what's the range you can give? That's the 4 type now.
We're currently at 268. You can stay at that if you want. November kilometer.
Roger, 260 knots, circling turn.
260, great, November kilometer. Okay, great. So, the aircraft is super quiet in terms of its audio, but on the comms, but the actual aircraft itself is loud. It's so confusing. Anyway, we've got to try and maintain 260 greater. As I say, we can't exactly get 280 knots from this thing. Bizarre.
Speed got 7 Tango, descent altitude 6,000 feet, QNH 1004. Level 6,000 feet at 1004, speed got 7 Tango.
Alright guys, I gotta be on the ball now, so I might not respond to chat as much.
Getting 340 degrees. Leave that at 340, speed got 7 Tango. Shuttle 7 Zulu, stand clear 2, replacing mission start. Hello, 7 Zulu, push and start approved. QNH 1004, latest is now up runway 2. Push is approved, QNH 1004 and check.
I'm not sure what happened to the autopilot at Blackpool. I had, again, not had any issues until today. It did follow the pole DME without any issues though. Let's try and increase a bit. We don't overspeed though, guys. We are only a slow plane.
Hello, Roger. Chinese 25 Romeo input 1 Echo arrival, speed 270 knots. Input 1 Echo arrival, speed 270 knots.
It's 18,000. Let's go ahead and increase our speed. Thrust.
Delta 33. Delta 33, go ahead. Yeah, we'd like to go to Nightbog now if possible. Delta 33, Roger, to the Nightbog. Yeah, alright, we'll go direct Nightbog. Delta 33.
For personally though, for me, I don't think it's essential that it shows the DME names on the GNS.
7 Tango, descent altitude. 5,000 feet.
It doesn't show the GNS name,
5,000 feet.
DME name on the GNS for the Beechgrove Baron for the EPPL, but it does for other ones. It is going to be very difficult to maintain the speed.
Rushton 50, hello, we're Challenger 650 on the ground at Prestwick. Across the IFR clearance to Reykjavik as filed.
We got a nice,
on board.
a nice 650 Challenger at Prestwick.
Rushton 50, Scottish hello, clearance Reykjavik, Turnberry 2 kilo departure, initial altitude 6,000 feet, and just squawk 5202.
Turnberry 2 kilo departure, climb 6,000 feet, squawking 5202, Rushton 50.
Rushton 50, correct. I can offer you runway 30 if you wish, the wind's 230 degrees at 17, as if you reach 1007.
We're able to take runway 20, Rushton 50.
Express 687, contact the turnout 18705, over. 18705, well, Express 687. Number 525, Kilo Mike, descend flight level 140.
Descend flight level 140, November Kilo Mike.
Chinix 25 Romeo, when ready, descend flight level 180.
When ready, descend flight level 180, Chinix Japan Romeo.
We have got traffic behind us, probably coming into Glasgow as well, possibly. The winds are a little bit concerning. I hope we get a little bit lighter winds as we get lower down. Otherwise we won't handle the approach.
3,500 feet, you have 2 1-track lanes to touch them. 3,500 feet and did you say 2 1-track mounts? You don't need to read back that part. Okay, 3,500 feet,
Rushton 50, if possible, actually could we take runway 30?
Rushton 50, Roger, you can expect runway 30.
The course 228, isn't it, for runway 23? This is not going to tune the waypoint, but I'm just going to put it in there in case.
Everything taxi, and if possible, could you change your cruise altitude from 250 to flight level 270?
Channel 70, Roger, amended flight plan 370, I can taxi right Golf, Alpha, hold Alpha.
The cruise altitude flight level 270, and then taxi right Golf, Alpha, and hold on forward, 27,000.
Did set the pressurization, guys, before we departed, so we're all in a lot of pain right now. Ah, a lawsuit on my hands.
Number 525, Kilo Mike, no speed restriction, descend flight level 100.
Descend flight level 100 and no speed restriction, November Kilo Mike. Straight down 10,000 feet, guys, with free speed. We do need to decrease our speed a little bit.
Left heading 290 degrees. Left 290 degrees.
I think, by the way, again, if you don't, I don't know if you're still here, but with regards to the aircraft, I pointed out on the review that, and earlier, that for the price, guys, in Torquesim, the autopilot should have locked onto that ILS with no issues, as it has been doing, but there have been hiccups, not just with the navigational equipment, but hiccups with the plane, which shouldn't really be in it, and also the lack of an EFB weather radar, which the developers just never learn. They will always make it expensive for products, but don't give people much for it, if that makes sense. So they've done a very basic plane here, but they've charged a ridiculous amount because they're the only ones selling one at the moment, and there's no competition for them.
Speed of 7 tango, descent to altitude 3,000 feet. 3,000 feet. Units 10-4, continue climb now, Honeycomb 1 to 2 days, Malay, bye-bye. 120, come into 24.
This is GWLADF locked on, and navigation one should give us the ILS. We should get the frequency now, 110.1, and we can check on the map as well for runway 23. And of course we do have a DME there actually, 11540.
Correction 30, correction 5, we have the current winds, please.
Listen, 50 basic winds are 230 degrees, 17 knots.
Correct, thank you.
Spears in Tango turn left 275, wind localize established 23 to 7 like that. 275, the localizer.
So now we tuned it in correctly, it'll be interesting to see if it works. ILS frequency in the course is set on here, and we'll get it on here as well when we get closer in. I don't think this plane has a TCAS built in. I know it's got obviously the transponder here, but I don't think it's going to give me any announcements if there's traffic, so it doesn't come with TCAS, but I'm pretty sure it'll appear on here possibly if there's another plane in the area. I'm hoping so. I really hope so. At least then we won't crash into anybody. Descend flight level 80, November Kilo Mike.
Chinese 25 Romeo, descend flight level 100, vectors ILS 24. Descend flight level 100, vectors for ILS 24, Chinese 25 Romeo.
Direct to land it, guys. A little bit of a waypoint shortcut there.
Speedbird 7 Tango winds 230 degrees, wind 7 knots, runway 23, clear to land. Clear to land, runway 23, speedbird 7 runway 23, clear to take off at 70. Shell 70 negative, it wasn't for you to hold up.
Here's that terrain, guys. That is the reason why we're going to be quite high on the approach, steep approach.
Landing company, 777-200 lane up to the wing 23 back.
This is Glasgow now, guys. We got everyone there. Fantastic. It gives you like nostalgia, doesn't it, being back in maybe if you were an older pilot in the 90s, maybe not that long ago really, but it may give you some nostalgia of being back in the original aircraft with the 6-pack instruments. Things have gone so far from then to now. Just look at the difference in the layouts and the systems. This is Honeywell, but you know, nowadays this would all be in like one screen. The radios would probably be in a nice little screen as well, and then you'd have the same on the right side. This is a huge change.
EG879, request IFR to Birmingham as filed at gate 145, plate A320.
EG79 Scottish, good afternoon, clear to Birmingham as filed by a Lisbo and then a Lima 60 away. That's your altitude 5,000 feet, Squawk 7505.
Clear to Birmingham as was filed by the Lisbo L and the L603 airway Squawk 7505, QNH 107.
E79, generic altitude 5,000 feet, otherwise correct.
Initial altitude 5,000.
Good readbacks there from somebody who's taking his time actually, instead of rushing it, which is nice to hear. Edinburgh's packed this evening, we should have gone to Edinburgh. But then again, we're not going to neglect Glasgow. I don't know what it is, but every time I come in and see network, or a network anywhere, you know, IVAO or whatever it may be, some of the ATC communications really crack me up, guys.
November 525 km, descent altitude 6,000 feet, QNH is 1004.
6,000 feet, QNH 1004, November Kilo Mike. Let's set the QNH now, the gentleman's giving it to us.
7 track miles, fly heading 020 degrees.
What the transition is for this airport? Ah, 6,000 feet, so we're pretty much there.
Number 2, traffic, descent flight level 100. Descend to flight level 100, number 2 traffic, fly left for EC2 to that.
Russian 50, request start.
Russian 50, start up approved, the present QNH is 1006, temperature +11.
Roger, start approved, Russian 50 will come.
It's going to be interesting to see if the RLS picks up. It's not picking up at the moment.
25 km, you have 36 track miles, fly heading 340 degrees.
340 degrees November Kilo Mike.
Well, in 101 Papa Sky.
It's giving us vectors now to the ILS. 340 degrees.
Shuttle 70, are we clear to take off?
Rather than doing that overhead thing there, he's giving us a right hand turn, probably as a final. In that case, we'll go direct to centre fix. And if we need to use the FMS, we can. But I think for now we can just use heading mode. Not very long, he says it's a couple of miles, so we might as well start slowing down then. And probably drop a few flaps.
4,000 feet, the QNH is 1003.
On the lights. Seatbelt signs on.
November 525 km, turn left by 10 degrees, descent to altitude 5,000 feet.
Left by 10 degrees down to 5,000 November Kilo Mike. Down to 5,000 feet.
92, no speed restriction, descent flight level 80.
Turning left by 10 degrees.
Okay, please repeat the flight level for EC2 to 92 and
Slowing down and probably drop a notch with the approach
flight
flaps.
level 80. Descend to 80 for 329. Berlin 101 Papa Scottish. Altitude 4,000 feet. Yeah, 4,000 feet, my apologies, Chennai to Flight Romeo. EC3292, leave Tartan heading 030 degrees. Turn left heading 30 degrees for EC2 to 92.
Welcome to Glasgow City, everybody. Touching down momentarily.
We're beginning our descent. Please return to your seat and ensure that your seatbelt is fastened. Stow any loose items and make sure your seat is in the upright position. We'll be landing shortly. Appreciate the cooperation.
Actually, it's a lot better this approach. We'll be able to see the airport clearly. Oh, hello from Albuquerque. Welcome. New Mexico. Good to have you in here, my friend. Good to have you here.
Ped 1 Echo when ready, descend flight level 200 during 26 Yankee.
I'll be flying in the United States soon as well.
Okay, please repeat the heading for 3292. Direct on 030 degrees. Sorry, I hear you.
I think everybody's having a similar issue actually. The ATC audio is a little bit on the quiet side.
Romeo, turn left heading 330 degrees, descend to altitude 3000 feet.
We're about to be vectored in with a ground speed or surface wind of 20 knots, so we'll see how this goes.
040 degrees for EC229.
Again, the navigation arrow is not pointing towards the ILS frequency. It's done it for Blackpool.
November 525 kilometres, descend to altitude 3,500 feet.
3,500 feet, November Kilo Mike. So be the approach height, everybody. Into the airport, as you can see there, we're about to intersect the localizer. It is strange though, the navigation 1 arrow should be pointing towards the ILS by now.
Turning right, 0 degrees, and descend to which flight level for 3092? 5,000 feet.
I hope there's no terrain here we're going to hit. It just seems to be high mountains there, so maybe vectors left before we got there.
Check 25, Roman, turn left 265, clear ILS 24. Left 265, clear for ILS 24, check 25, Roman. Shuttle 7 Zulu, 15 knots.
879, progress button start.
Shuttle 7 Zulu, 15 knots. Redirecting shuttle 7 Zulu. ED79, push, start approved. Push, start approved. Rush 250, cross taxi. Just a 50 taxi, Romeo, hold Quebec. Taxi Romeo, hold Quebec. Rush 250. Over 525 kilometres, turn left heading 290 degrees.
Left 290 degrees, November Kilo Mike. There we go guys, 290, this will be vectors for the final, hopefully. I think we're a little bit far out at the moment.
ED241 kilo, descend, flight level 80. Flight level 80 is 24 kilo.
We still have a couple of miles to Santa Fe.
Contact 1 Alpha, hello?
Oh, but Austin vigorously updates explained it is, yes, time for another update. There was one yesterday actually. So yeah, he is updating it, he's keeping it busy. He's 12.3.4 now, I think it is on X.12. Anyway, ignition continuous. I think they're doing a great job with the updates.
Condo 1 Alpha, report your MAC number. It was for Quadrant 1 Alpha? Yeah, it's not even your call sign. Tom Jet 1 Alpha, report your MAC number. 8.1, Quadrant 1 Alpha. Jet 1 Alpha, Roger, MAC, decimal 8 or greater, on conversion speed to 280 knots or greater. Roger, 8.1 or greater on conversion to AT operators, contact 1 off. EDT292, turn left heading 315. Mission 3292, turning left 315.
I wasn't so sure about it, Fly Robbins. I mean, there's not that much to fix, to be fair, other than the ATC and some graphical issues, but I don't think the next game will get rid of them.
Service, you are clear to enter on that end. Contact with tower and victim for the surface, have a nice evening, easy to do that. Thank you, Stephen. Stephen. Remember 252 kilo line, turn left 260 degrees, when localized established, descend the glide path.
Left to 260 and say when glide path November Kilo Mike. Okay guys, so I hope you're all looking forward to this. Say glide path, so we may as well get semi-established by potentially switching to nav mode, but the arrow is still not pointing towards the navigation for the ILS.
Control KLM 661, which is flight level 360.
Selected to nav 1, it's still not pointing in the right direction. I don't know why, guys, it should be pointing in that direction for the ILS. Let's select navigation and see if it'll lock onto it. Although, again, this arrow should be pointing in the way that nav 1 is tuned. It's giving us a DME distance there, so 9.3 to localizer. It is in fact turning pretty good. And we have the glide slope intercepted.
661, I am not landing in your area. I'm flying to Houston, America, United States.
You selected approach mode, so you should have started to descend.
661. Russian 50 holding Quebec.
Standby 0 by Quebec, wind 230 degrees, 17 knots, runway 30, clear takeoff. Clear takeoff from runway 30 by Quebec, rush 250.
November 525 Kilo Mike, established glide slope 1323.
November 525 Kilo Mike, wind 230 degrees, 17 knots, runway 23, clear to land.
Let's land runway 23 November Kilo Mike. Runway in sight, indeed. Let's get flaps to landing mode and we'll slow down to approach speed.
270 knots. Speed 270, Yoke, 26 Yankee. ED24, 1 kilo 4, 0 track miles, flight heading 320 degrees, descend to altitude 4,000 feet, target Gulf QH 1007. Stand by heading 320 degrees, down to 4,000 feet, 240.
There is a steep glide slope on this one, everybody. I'm hoping it locks onto that approach mode though, otherwise we'll have to go manually. Disappointing that this arrow, I mean, yeah, I'm noticing more and more problems. It's just the payware, not the actual game, thankfully.
Great. You just confirm the EGNH for Belfast for us again, please. Become Aldi Golf 1007. 1007, Scottish Hello, Logan 49 Fox Whiskey ADR 76. On the way to heading 185, descending altitude 3,000 feet, QH 1004. We have Bravo, and you've just touched QH. Logan 49 Foxtrot Whiskey, Squat 1 Charlie, confirm your altitude.
8,000, descend 3,000, and you should have Charlie.
Negative Charlie, stop, descent altitude 6,000 feet, and QNH 1003 with traffic at your 12 o'clock, range 4 miles easy.
As they approach, so we should be locking onto the localizer now. Yes, it seems to have done it. I.e. the approach mode, so thankfully it's worked here.
Sunjet 1 Alpha, descent flight level 200.
Set level 200, Sunjet 1 Alpha.
Logan 49 Foxtrot Whiskies, what is that like? Logan 49 Foxtrot Whiskey, Squawk 3373.
There's a lot of power on this because of the headwind.
3373 coming up and heading is 185 left 49 Fox Whiskey.
Russian 50, report your altitude, climb now, flight level 250.
Russian 50, climb, passing 5,800 feet, climb for level 250.
Your wings 26 Yankee, descent flight level 120.
Setting 120, during 26 Yankee.
Autopilot off.
Shell 70,
Your damper off.
Unicom 122 decimal 8, go on.
Unicom 122 decimal 8, thanks.
Russian 50, turn left on heading 025.
Left hand heading 025, Russian 50.
Logan 49 Foxtrot Whiskey, I've still got you at 7,000, just confirm the Squawk 3373.
Okay, 3373 you have, we are altitude 6,000, QNH 104, Logan 49 Fox Whiskey.
Logan 49 Foxtrot Whiskey, I've still showing you at 7,000.
A little bit unsteady on the brake.
410 hotel out of Hindenburg, climbing through to 4,100 feet.
Nice, nice touchdown, everyone.
41 Bravo Tail Scottish, hello, climb now, flight level 90.
Could you fly traction 990?
High speed turnout.
Logan 49 Foxtrot Whiskey, I'm unable to identify this time. Make a left turn north, 360 degrees, descent to altitude 4,000 feet.
Left turn north, descend altitude 4,000 feet, Logan 49 Fox Whiskey.
Taxi lights, strobes off, anti-eyes off,
Russian 50, resume navigation to foil.
normal, ignition, TSO off, flaps are up,
ED241 kilo, turn left, 270
flaps should be back to approach mode.
2,500 feet to clear ILS 25.
We did depressurize, but we didn't select it on there. So, where did we get off? I think we got off on, yes, Delta 1.
Wings 26 Yankee, turn right, 345, no speed restriction, descend.
We'll be around here, around the Gamma maintenance, I think, around this part for the GA parking.
345 and no speed restriction, Wings 26 Yankee.
Logan 49 Foxtrot Whiskey got identified, 5,800 feet, 25 miles west of St. Albans.
Brilliant, thank you very much. Looks like swapping the transponder.
Is that taxiway Golf? Taxiway Golf and then taxiway Alpha to Juliet, possibly. November 525 Kilo Mike, clear runway 23 Delta 1.
Number 525 Kilo Mike, welcome taxi, Golf Alpha Juliet to J.
Golf Alpha Juliet to GA parking, November Kilo Mike. As expected, guys, November Kilo Mike is taxiing via Golf Alpha and Juliet.
180 degrees on the heading, Coach Climb Hotel 150 right now for 41 Hotel.
Tom Jet 1 Alpha descent flight level 160, no speed restriction.
160,
So he eventually locked onto the glide slope. eventually, but it was quite late this
Okay,
time.
so it's 49 Foxtrot Whiskey, turn left heading to... Oh, it's about 2,500 for 6,000. Logan 49 Foxtrot Whiskey, turn left heading to... Hi. Left at 5, Logan 49 Foxtrot Whiskey. Easy to Kilo Echo Square, hello, climb now, flight level 2, fire indication 210. Climb down 210, it's 290 Kilo Echo.
Thank you so much everyone for joining me from Biggin Hill today up to Blackpool and then to Glasgow. 3 of my favourite UK airports. They all have fantastic approaches and they usually always have fantastic ATC. Today we didn't get any in London, but we've had some great ATC here in Scotland. I appreciate the sarcasm. Your nickname now is going to be not Flyer Robin, but Albuquerque. So cheers for that sarcasm, Albuquerque. Welcome anytime.
KLM 661.
Tom Jet 1 Alpha, turn right heading 335. Heading 335, process 1 Logan 49 Foxtrot Whiskey. Take right turn to 70 degrees, clear ILS to 4 coast down.
Let's turn our transponder to ground. We're going to stay on the frequency for now and just listen in. Maybe someone will spawn back in, but as you can see guys, we flew right over those hills, right over the city.
Confirm your initial requesting cruise level.
250, rush 250.
Thanks, go roger, it's Stonaway.
Direct Stonaway, rush 250.
Wings 26 Yankee, descend to altitude 6,000 feet, QNH 1004.
Sending 6,000 feet, QNH 1004, wings 26 Yankee.
Tom Jet 1 Alpha, descend flight level 80.
Looks like we're the only one in GA parking. There's a few Cessnas here.
Pioneer 41 Bravo Hotel, climb flight level 2.
Nice hangars over there as well. Let's just park in then guys. There's one space available. We're going to take it. Park the wrong way round, but still fine, isn't it? Anyway, great ATC this evening. Great day streaming and flying. So aircon off. Let's turn our window shield heat off. Nav light, standby gyro, passenger seatbelt signs, advisory switch off, transponder to squawk, and then I'm going to turn it off this time. Avionics off, AC inverter off, night dim switch off, engine shutdown. Oh, control lock as well, don't forget that, and beacon and battery. Oh, what an adventure. What an adventure. Well, here we are everybody to Glasgow Airport from Biggin Hill with an intermediary stop in the Cafe Elite livery Citation 525 jets by Torquesim. We've encountered some issues. Those issues have been moaned about gracefully. We'll leave the engine's covers off this time because it's still hot on the engine there. It's probably still hot on the pitos too, but we can afford a new pair of pito covers. Some pretty good parking though at Glasgow. As I say guys, thank you for joining me, and I will see you on Friday. So stick around for the replay, and take care till the next one.